What is your name? What is your name?
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You need to listen to me instead of talking, okay? Well, I find that Matthew Neil Aldridge has failed to appear. What I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation, and I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neil Aldridge. When I'm talking, you stop talking. But I don't know who you are. As quickly as we can so that we can start on the jail docket. 2021 CR 19158, State versus Matthew Aldridge. Are you Matthew Aldridge? Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
His authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent area.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me. Apparently there's a copy here. All right, this is in the state of Tennessee of Cheatham County and Chancery Court, which is filed in the wrong county because in the wrong court, because this is circuit court. You just be quiet.
You go to the courthouse, it comes up.
You need to listen to me instead of talking, okay? This is a challenge to the standing. The Supreme Court of the United States has stated that no corporation has standing anything to man. And then there's a quotation for Rundle versus Delaware Raritan Canal Company. And then it said, as well as it being a maximum of law, citing certain Latin phrases, dissimilar things ought not to be joined by a definition of Black's Law Dictionary. So the respondent in error requires that the state of Tennessee Incorporated and Cheatham County Chancery Court prove their standing to proceed against a man in any court of law. You have 15 calendar days to prove your standing or forever yield to estoppel, waiver, and fraud, and cease and desist this proceeding immediately. More time is available if requested. And then this was signed by Matthew O'Neill Aldridge. Is that your signature?
That's the respondent in error signature.
All right. Well, I find that Matthew...
The moment this man opens his mouth, the confusion begins. The judge asks for a name, a basic formality, and what follows is a masterclass in sovereign citizen nonsense. He claims he's the attorney of fact, which isn't a real legal role in criminal court, and refuses to admit whether he's Matthew Aldridge or not. This alone sets the tone for what's about to be a painfully bizarre courtroom session. If you were the judge and someone refused to even confirm their name, how would you handle that situation? As the judge continues to ask straightforward legal questions, this guy dodges, stalls, and deflects. He admits he doesn't have a power of attorney, yet still insists on speaking for Matthew Aldridge. At this point, the judge calmly, but firmly, explains the law. Only licensed attorneys can represent someone else in criminal court. It's honestly impressive how patient the judge remains here. This is where it gets wild. The man produces a pseudo-legal document filled with outdated case law and meaningless Latin phrases. The judge identifies the filing as invalid, explains it was submitted to the wrong court, and completely shuts down this legal fantasy land. You can feel the courtroom's collective cringe as the sovereign citizen tries to quote Black's Law Dictionary to argue standing. The judge finally has enough. Since this man won't admit he's Matthew Aldridge, the judge declares Aldridge has failed to appear, essentially treating the sovereign citizen as someone who's pretending to represent him. A warrant is likely on its way. And honestly, the courtroom probably exhaled in relief. Sovereign citizen arguments aren't just ineffective, they're disruptive and time-wasting. Do you think the judge should have shut him down sooner? Or was he right to let him talk and expose his own nonsense? At this point, the judge gives a mini-legal lecture. He clearly outlines why the sovereign citizen's filings have no legal basis. They're civil litigation references, not applicable to criminal law. And what makes it more powerful is the judge doesn't shout. He educates. He clarifies that his courtroom is backed by the U.S. Constitution and the Tennessee Constitution. This is a great example of calm authority meeting chaotic ignorance.
What I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation, and I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neil Aldridge. If you are in fact Matthew Neil Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because that what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an Article 3 trial?
To what?
Would that be an Article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury, certainly it would be. But I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time to all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. You will when I'm finished talking. You're wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be all uttered, then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. Trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are in fact Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get his card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th. A bond revocation will take place, and his case will be set, will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th.
he better deliver the message. Either way, the court moves forward. The sovereign citizen loses again, not in a dramatic arrest, but by being legally boxed out of relevance. And the best part? The judge calls his filing invalid, like swatting a fly with the law. In a hilarious moment, the judge refers to the man as whose name must not be uttered, like Voldemort. You can tell he's trying to keep composure while making a point. This guy isn't a mystery. He's just wasting everyone's time. The judge's mix of dry humor and legal firmness is the perfect antidote to sovereign citizen madness. This is a clip I'd show in law school under How to Deal with Disruptive Litigants 101.
Is the father helping you out of the child?
No, I didn't tell you guys that. You guys made that up yourself. I never said that.
We don't acquire 9 warrants unless we think that we're bigger than courts.
And can I
Ma'am, I'm not done talking yet.
So yeah, this judge goes absolutely off on this woman here. He does take a different approach, so let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. But without further ado, let's dive into it. Obviously, you saw she has 9 warrants, so the judge is not going to be happy with her here.
All right. She pled guilty. The failure to pay fines and costs is ordered and failure to provide proof of completing 24 hours of community service by October 1. I told her on October 1 that I was going to set it over for sentence, or on November the 21st, adjourned it to December 19th. I got a call from my judicial clerk saying that she was sick or her child was sick or something along those lines. I adjourned it over to today. Is there anything you'd like to say? Tell me, give me proof that she's done her community service.
Your Honor, she does not have proof this time.
Why not?
Judge, currently...
She didn't do it.
Yes, Judge. I know that she is currently on bed rest. She's 6 months pregnant. When I discussed the outstanding balance, she's respectfully requesting consideration for a payment plan. She can make a $100 payment this Friday, and then she'd be asking to make...
Why would I give her a payment plan when I know I told her on August the 8th to pay $50 a week and to come and talk to me if she didn't have the money? Why would I now be sympathetic over somebody saying they're 6 months pregnant when I ordered this in July? She knew when she got pregnant. I gave her till October 1. That would have been 3 months earlier. There's no reason she couldn't have done a sedentary job in either July, August, September, October. And she told us, I think she did community service. But she's not going to do community service because she doesn't think she needs to do community service. Did she do her court work program?
Yes,
Your Honor, and she was doing court work program all the way up into September, so I'm not sure when this bed rest claim has come in.
She was doing what?
She was doing court work program all the way through the middle of September, so I'm not sure where the bed rest comes in.
She's just, listen, sometimes I don't feel like calling them. It's the day before Christmas. She's not kidding me. I mean, this is nonsense. Did you go to the doctor about the COVID the other day?
I didn't have COVID. My daughter had the flu and had
Your daughter had the flu.
And I have proof of that, yes.
Well, let me see it. Did you go to a doctor?
Did I go to
Did she go to a doctor?
Yes, she was in a hospital.
Okay, I don't need the proof. What do you want? What else is she doing? Is she doing our outpatient?
Yes, Your Honor, to her credit, she is compliant with her outpatient treatment. Really, at this point, she owes the victim's impact panel, and she still has not cleared several of those warrants that she has outstanding.
You haven't gone over and done that either, huh?
She indicated that she took care of her warrants out of Wayne and Westland.
Let's see here. I don't have that handy. Where else does she have warrants out of?
I ran her record December 17th. She still had warrants out of Wayne, Westland, Romulus, Taylor, Westland, Romulus, and that is all, Your Honor. So she still had warrants out of those jurisdictions as of the December 17th date.
Did you go over to Taylor?
I never knew I had a warrant for Taylor.
Did you go over to
I
Romulus?
even got pulled over by him.
Did you go over to Romulus? She's
No.
not lying to you. I mean, they're on
Okay,
there.
that's fine, but I don't know nothing about any of that. Taylor or Romulus, I've been
Because you got
very
in a
aware.
bad habit of thinking you're larger than courts. That's what happened.
That's not what it is.
Okay, how many?
How does someone rack up 9 warrants and still argue with the judge? Do you think she's genuinely overwhelmed or just dodging consequences? The judge digs deeper, calling out the woman's inconsistencies. From claiming she's 6 months pregnant to suddenly being on bed rest, the stories just don't line up. He doesn't yell, but he doesn't back down either. He shows that the court won't be manipulated with half-truths and missed deadlines. There's no reward for skipping out on responsibilities, especially when the court gave her multiple chances. The woman continues to insist she didn't know about the warrants, but the judge holds firm. She had time, chances, and resources. He assigns community service and payment deadlines, reminding her that court orders are not optional. Yet again, we see the theme: accountability. You can't dodge legal consequences forever. And eventually, the story catches up to you. Whether you're a sovereign citizen or someone who just kept ignoring court dates. In this hearing, the judge showcased how to effectively shut down sovereign citizen tactics and enforce accountability with both calm explanation and judicial authority. From bizarre identity dodges to careless disregard for court orders, each person in this video faced a clear and firm response. The man pretending not to be Matthew Aldridge was denied legal standing, and a new trial date was set. The woman with multiple warrants received clear instructions for fines, community service, and court appearances. If you found this courtroom showdown as wild as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. What would you have done if you were the judge? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We read every single one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next court case breakdown.
Unless you have a warrant in the jurisdiction.
Okay.
Okay? When is your due date?
In May.
May?
Yes.
I thought you just said she was 6 months
I'll
pregnant.
be 6 months next week.
Well, that would make it March, wouldn't it, or not? Or
No,
early April?
it's May.
So you're not 6 months pregnant.
I'm 5 months pregnant.
Months if you said May.
No, okay. Whatever.
Are you working? How are you supporting
No,
yourself?
I'm not. I'm waiting on cash assistance.
Is the father helping you out of the child?
No,
Are you having complications with your pregnancy?
that's what we're trying to see. I have to go back.
Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm doing. No doctors told you that yet, right?
No, doctors told me what?
That you're having complications that are going to stop you from doing things, physical things.
Well,
Community service is very sedentary work. We can find sedentary work.
yeah, they tell me the Victory Gym.
Okay. Well, you're going to do 2 extra days of community service, and it's all going to be completed by February the 7th. I don't like you not paying your fines. You told me you were going to pay weekly $50 in August. You didn't. You haven't.
I didn't tell you guys that. You guys made that up yourself. I never said that I was paying 50 weekly.
What does the pre-sentence report indicate her income was, Ms. Wilds, back when I sentenced? You have that in front of you. I don't need to see it.
Yep, she indicated that she was currently employed, that she was actually in training at Rocket Mortgage to obtain her state licensing, and she was also collecting $300 per month in bridge card food stamps.
For Diamond G, for me, I've never attended Rocket Mortgage. In a food stamp card, I get $535, not $300. That's not me.
Did I tell you to come and talk to me if you didn't have the money?
Yes, and
Why didn't you do that? No. I would have told you that at the time of the sentence. Why didn't you do that? You paid nothing in 5 months, and now you're coming in and asking for time to pay, and I just don't appreciate it. I'm going to be reasonable with you under these circumstances, but I don't think you're really getting the fact that you need to comply with court orders. We don't acquire 9 warrants unless we think that we're bigger than courts.
And can I have
Ma'am, I'm not done talking yet. So let's quit acting like we're oppressed and start to understand that we have to show up and pay for our sins. And that's what we do. Now, how much did you say you can pay?
She can make a $100 payment this upcoming Friday.
And then, but then how much can she pay?
100 per month at the minimum on or about the.
You pay $100 by December the 27th. And the 27th of every month thereafter. With all money due by, because I have to have it done before the end of probation, by August the 15th of 25. You don't have the money? All you have to do is call the court. We'll go on Zoom. I'll be happy to work with you, but you cannot ignore it's like this, man. Okay, so you have to do all your community service by that date that I gave you. So you already owe us 24 hours. Now you owe us 40 hours, and that has to be done by February the 7th. If you get a note from a doctor saying it's an impossible task for you to do that, based on the type of work that you can do that's sedentary, I'll be glad to give you an extension. Okay? I wish you well. Stop being so angry. Go take care of the courts. Go surrender yourself on the warrants.
Can I have a printout of that? Just like
I can't give you a printout of the lien. We can tell you where,